There are multiple fairy tales about kings who bury their daughters in a mound of earth, but this one from Norway is my favorite. It's bloody and dark and horrific and actually involves a gorgeous love story. It's called The Finn King's Daughter. In the olden days, there's a Finnish king who has a daughter who's super precious to him. So precious, he always kept her in sight. Back off, Dad. But it gets worse because then he has to go to the wars and he doesn't want to take her with him or leave her alone, specifically because there is a new kitchen boy who seems to really love her and she seems to really love him back. And he's afraid they'll, get together while he's gone. So he decides to bury her. He builds a house underneath a mound hidden in the woods, fills it with food and drink and clothing and cups, and puts her in there with 9 other maidens to keep her company. And in this story, our girl is no dutiful daughter. She wails and cries and screams, "Dad, please do not bury me." But he puts her in, has the mound leveled and sewn over so that no one can find where she is. Almost immediately, the girl and her maidens are trying to get out. They have nothing to dig with but their bare hands. I guess the cups they left them with didn't work. They dig for an entire year and then one of the maidens dies. They keep digging for 9 years and all 9 of the maidens with this girl die. So she's not only buried alive, she's buried alive with the bodies of her dead friends. Can you imagine the smell? She dug until blood ran, until the nails had come out of all her fingers. Finally, she glimpses daylight, gets out, and looks at the sky. And somehow she still has her mind, because like in the musical Into the Woods, Rapunzel loses her mind after everything she goes through. That's nothing compared to this girl. I would be psychotic. The forest has changed so much in 9 years, she can't find her way home, so she just starts wandering. In the meantime, the dad who took the kitchen boy with him to the wars has somehow discovered the kitchen boy is the son of a king. No word on why, nobody knew that before, but he is, so now he's royal and the dad's cool with them getting together. So the wars end, they come home, and oh no, they can't find the mound. And when they finally do, they get in there and our girl's gone. And, the dead corpses of the other girls. But then a troll hag, sometimes translated as a witch, shows up saying, "I'm the lost princess," and the kitchen boy knows it is not her because they were in love. He knows her. But everyone else believes her and the dad believes her, and so he's like, "All right, you guys are getting married," and our kitchen boy can't do anything about that. Our girl wanders for a while and has some adventures. She stays with some charcoal burners for a while, and I didn't actually know what that was until I looked it up. It's people who burn charcoal. She eventually leaves them and comes to this river, and this nice wolf makes signs like, "Hey, ride on my back, I'll take you across the river," and she does, which is so sweet. She keeps traveling alone, she's freezing, she's almost dying, and she finally comes to her kingdom. Now her dad has since died, and the kitchen boy is now the king in his place. He's supposed to marry the evil troll hag in 3 days, and so our girl is like, "I better hide who I am," and they already think this other woman is her, she probably won't be believed, so she gets a job as a serving girl. But the king, her former kitchen boy, still does not believe it's really her, and so one night he says, "Hey, if you sew this seam in perfectly when I come back after where I'm going, I'll know that you're really my girl," because I guess she was really good at sewing. Troll hag is screaming and crying, "I'm not going to be able to do it." Our girl hears her and she's like, "I'll help you." And so she does it for her, but she leaves one part of it not done well that the witch did. So when the dude comes back, he's like, "Oh wow, you really did it. But what about here?" And she's like, "Oh, it took me a while to get the hang of it." Girl does it again another night with embroidery. The next day they're supposed to get married. So the king says to the troll hag, "If you're really the girl, I want you to ride her horse that's in the stable that won't let anyone but her ride it to the wedding procession." Troll hag freaks out, but our girl offers to ride, and the troll hag is like, "Okay, wear a veil and just you go to the wedding and ride back, and then we'll switch places again since I can't ride the horse." So our girl travels to the church riding the horse. They pass the place where she was buried in the mound, and she says to herself, "None knew the tears my cheek had crossed, my maidens in the mound I lost. None saw me wipe my tears away, my maidens all behind me lay." And the king's like, "What'd you say?" And she's like, oh, nothing. They pass by where the charcoal burners were, and she says a little rhyme about them. They pass by the river, she says a little rhyme about the wolf. They get married, they ride back, they separate to meet again in the bridal chamber that night, and he gives her his pair of gloves, and he says, "Hold on to my gloves, no matter what, do not give them to someone else." That night he gets under the covers, and the troll hag comes to him, and she's like trying to get into bed with him, and he's like, "Wait, what did you say on the way to church?" So the troll hag has to go back to the girl, find out what she said, come back, say it. And this happens like 3 times. And the 3rd time she's exhausted. She's like, "Just let me in bed." And he's like, "No, not till you go get me my gloves that I gave you." She goes back to our girl. She's like, "Give me those gloves." And she's like, "No, I made a promise I would not give these gloves away. I'm not going to do it." And so she just absolutely refuses. The troll hag's like, okay, I will take you with me and I'll just tell him I'm having my servant girl give him the gloves. And she's like, all right. So she brings her into the bedroom. Our girl hands the gloves to the prince and he says, I'd rather have the hand than the gloves, I think. Because he absolutely recognizes her once he sees her. So the troll hag was flogged and bound, put in a spiked barrel, and thrown in a river. And then there was great rejoicing because the Finn King's daughter had truly been found. And she's already married to our dude. So now they can live happily ever after. There's a more well-known version of this, at least in America, called Maid Maylene, which still isn't that well-known, by the Brothers Grimm. And it's similar, but it doesn't have the dark horror of watching her maidens die, of digging herself out all by herself. It's such a great metaphor for so many things about being harmed in this horrible way by her father when she was helpless, but surviving, clawing her way out alive, never forgetting who she is no matter what trauma she's been through, and then getting recognized for her strength, for her ability to survive in the end. And that makes me freaking love it. I hope you liked it too.